Movie Club. It's me, Jenny, aka ClassyLibrarian, and this week's movie was Dredd. And my quick review for this film is, it wasn't really my sort of movie. I think the way to enjoy this movie is to watch it with a bunch of friends, drink a bit if you are of age, and just have fun and get into the crazy, violency, gory part of this film. I think the reason why I didn't enjoy this film so much for me personally is because there is so much depth to the world that they live in, which of course would go into detail in the comics. But not knowing anything about the comics, not having watched the original film, I kind of went into this world blind, and going into this world without the kind of pre-existing knowledge that would come with kind of watching the comic, it felt very, very one-dimensional watching this film. You know, as soon as you get introduced to characters, who's going to come out on top. You know the arena that it's going to be set in, and you kind of can work out exactly what's going to go on from there. There wasn't really any surprises at all. It just wasn't really my sort of film that much, because I just couldn't get into it because there wasn't enough there to kind of find a deeper meaning. I've got to give props to the actors. Carl Urban has to do the most difficult job, which is to try and act without using his eyes. They said that people who've played superheroes in the past, when they have to wear masks, they have so much difficulty trying to communicate emotions because, they're wearing a mask over the top of their face, but most of the time they still get to use their eyes. In this case, it's completely chin acting, which is incredibly difficult, and in that way it came off slightly campy to me when he's doing lots of sort of expressions with his mouth. I understand where it's coming from, and I understand it's incredibly difficult to get an empathetic character when you're not able to see that entire of their face. So I didn't really, you're not really rooting that much for Dredd's character, which is a shame because Carl Urban worked so hard to try and get this role right. Olivia Thirlby, I don't know how to pronounce her name, I think that's right. She did a really nice job as well. She's kind of got a sweet, innocent face, and it worked with this kind of role as a rookie. But her character was conveniently vulnerable at points, which slightly irritated me, where she has this power, and at just some points it just seems as though she's just not concentrating, or she's just very conveniently the damsel in distress, which I found slightly irritating. It works for the genre. You've got to have kind of someone to root for other than your hero, but it did feel a little bit kind of there for the sake of cliche rather than there for the sake of plot. I love Lena Heaney. I think she does an amazing job. I love her. The first thing I saw her in was Sarah Connor Chronicles, and she's such a great actress, and she plays a badass really, really well. In this film, they definitely tried to ugly her up, which is quite hard, to make her this sort of ultra villain. And then they made her very, very passive in the end. You don't really see anything that she does. She doesn't really hold a gun at any point. She has the ultimate threat at the end, which is rather, in the end, a bit of a disappointment. But I think overall the actors did a very, very good job with the material that they were given, and the fact that they were trying to make a film that has got to have a wide appeal, but also fit into this enormous universe that it's originally from. So I think it's an okay film in the context that it's in. I think, for me personally, I would have loved a lot more detail into the history of the world, but that's just me. I like the way that the director dealt with colours in this film. It's very monochromatic, but with a lot of sudden flashes of colour. There's a lot of yellow in this film. A lot of people are wearing yellow, or there's something in the background that's yellow, the lighting is yellow, or red, and it's odd because those two are very warm colours, but it seems still very cold and very passive. So, I like the direction, the action's pretty good, the music is very, heartbeat bassline. You'll hear that a lot, where it kind of is to build the tension. So I liked a lot of the moments in this film. It just really wasn't for me, and I think I would have enjoyed it so much more had I had the background knowledge, or been watching it with friends, or both. That's it really. I hope I've said something useful for you. I would definitely recommend watching this film once. Definitely recommend watching it with friends and with alcohol rather than watching it on your own. And that's it really. Very violent. Children, don't watch this film. There's a lot of explicit sexual stuff that isn't actually shown but is highly suggested. So, if you are underage, please don't watch this film. It's just not good for you. And that's it. My video for next week will be up quite late because, as I said in my anime video, I'm going to an anime convention, so it'll be up quite a bit late. I hope you don't mind, and I will see you guys next week. Bye guys.